the tough part of this journey is always going to be staying stopped. We can all make the decision when we've got enough motivation, and that motivation generally is a psychological pain. And the guy says to me, he said, it's just not that simple what you're saying, the way that you're making it out, that stopping drinking alcohol is just an easy thing to do. And I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm saying that, look, take it from this perspective. Stopping drinking alcohol is a decision. It's a binary decision. So you either stop or you don't. That's it. There's no other way around it. If you moderate, you're still drinking. Right? If you drink 1 drink of alcohol every month, you're still drinking. Now, staying stopped is a process. So conflating those two different things, they're two different things altogether. So that's where you're having the problem. Stopping drinking alcohol is simple. Staying stopped is the big problem. I remember reading a quote about, I think it was Mark Twain, that said something along the lines of, he was talking about quitting smoking, and he said, quitting smoking is easy. I've done it 1,000 times. And, it's a joke, but it's true. Every time, if you're a drinker, every time you go to bed, you stop drinking. Every time, if you're a smoker, every time you go to bed, you stop smoking, right? But you start again the next day, or you start drinking again the next weekend. For me, that's the problem. Is I used to always think of sober as the gaps between the drinking, the times when I wasn't drinking. So that's why I don't call myself sober now, because I always associate sobriety with drinking. So, it is what it is. The tough part of this journey is always going to be staying stopped. We can all make the decision when we've got enough motivation, and that motivation generally is a psychological pain that keeps you stopped in the beginning, right? So, it's not so clear cut to stay stopped drinking. Why? Because it's just not doing something. You have to actively work on these things. You have to work on your thinking. You have to work on your mindsets. You have to work on reframing things. You have to work on your relationships. You have to work on your life. And I'm not saying that people don't do this when they're drinking, but it's always a stutter, stop, start thing. Like I said, my life was always, my drinking life, the one pronouncement that I could make about it, the one constant, was 1 step forwards, 2 steps back. Everything I tried to do, it was always the same bullshit, So, and that stopped as soon as I stopped drinking, because I didn't have that thing pulling me back. That any habit, once it's deep enough inside of you, will take over everything else and stop you from doing other things. That's the whole point of it, isn't it? Take care. Beat you in the next one. Onwards and upwards.